everybody. Welcome to Lessons of Life, the podcast where we study the laws of mind that govern our lives because it's good to study the things that govern your life. Since they're principle, law, they're truth, they pass the scientific method, and it's worth knowing about so you can work with it instead of against it, which just gets your ass beaten until you know. Look at me, look at the principle. That, in other words, it's going to keep biting your ass until you acknowledge it and work with it. And that's what we're told about, know God. And the hard part for people to understand is that the God is a certain way. He's all these good things. He's wonderful and coughing up the life, all that other stuff. But the Son is the intermediary between man and God. Son of man, son of God. He knows both parties. That's why he's the judge. He sees both parties. He sees the man side, he sees the God side. He's the one who makes it beautiful and wonderful and lovely because he's the one who understands the man. But he's also the one who understands the God. There's only one. There's only one I am. There's only one I. Okay, we all say it. You take care of your piece of the pie. Okay, you make sure that anyone who comes into your consciousness, into your piece of the pie, they're lovely, they're beautiful, they're wonderful. If you're a chocolate pie, you can't have a piece of lime pie coming into your chocolate pie if you don't want it. You may not want to be chocolate lime pie. That's up to you. Now, some people go to an extreme and say you have to not have any personality. No, you sacrifice your personality, you keep it, but you're not passionate on the outside anymore. You're passionate on the inside. You save that for the inside. You stop screaming and yelling at the world. You save that for the inside. You save your passion for the Christ. Okay? And you do what your heart tells you to do. If you follow your heart, okay? If you follow your heart and love the Christ, then all good things will come to you. When you've gone down a deeper rabbit hole into this stuff, then you start to understand it's instant. You have a connection. You're always connected. You're never not connected to the source. It's, are you allowing it? Do the Star of David, and understand there's an inverse to that. So, you're doing the Star of David. That just means there's also someone doing the devil. Okay. That's how it balances. It has to balance. Otherwise, it would be chaos. You are the Son of Man. So you understand everything about, the nature of a man, the creature, the brute, okay, however you want to look at it. And then there's the Son of God, the Son of God's side. You have a heart. You're given a spark of the divine, all right, to grow it into a soul. And eventually, you become an old soul. You've done it. You've done it all, and that's when, you come to realize these things, and maybe you share them with others, maybe not, who knows? But those that did, we are blessed to have their quote unquote testimony, their good news, their gospel. Okay, and this is the Neville Goddards and the Emmett Foxes and the Joseph Murphys and all the people they interacted with, and everyone gets a little piece from someone else. Let's face it, Emmett Fox was saying mental diet a long time before Neville Goddard ever did. And certainly, Robert Wagner was saying imagination creates reality hundreds of years before Neville Goddard did. So, there's only one being. Okay. Nobody's plagiarizing anyone. And it's just, they are all in the same boat. They run in the same group. They were saying the same things. They were reading the same things. They were reading what others wrote about it. See how this mixes it all up like the Bible says? And this is why I tend to go by the Bible because, for example, I got into back and forth on a Facebook page with a lady. She's a lovely lady. I really like the way she writes. I like the way she thinks, but she wanted to get into a tit for tat about Joseph Murphy because I had stated that in what I was aware of, what I read, Abdullah had never taught Murphy, that he was told to go teach Neville, and I was unaware that he taught anyone else. Well, she showed me some stuff that, showed that he was giving teachings. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Do I really give a shit one way or another? No. What does that have to do with the teachings? Do you see how we get distracted? And I fell for it. I was doing it too. And at one point in the conversation, I'm like, what's this matter? As long as the teachings matter. But it was totally overlooked. She wanted to prove her point that he had. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you're aware of that. Thank you for showing me what was brought to your attention so that I can look at it and say, oh, yes, he did, but I don't get it. Who cares? I don't care. It doesn't matter whose mouth it came out of. Doesn't matter if it comes out of my mouth, your mouth, Neville's mouth, Abraham's mouth, anybody's mouth. It doesn't matter. It's a mouth. Did it come from your heart? Huh? That's it. You're not better than somebody else because you're aware of things they're not. You should be saying, no, he really was. Here, I've read this and I've read that and this, and the way that conversation went was no, and she quotes Mitch Horowitz, and I'm like, I don't care about Mitch Horowitz and what he thinks. I need something from Joseph Murphy, Neville Goddard, or Abe that they taught classes. So then she provided a newspaper article. Great. Now I'm with you. This makes that Ab was running a class. Okay. Great. Like Neville ran classes. There were lectures, and that's what they were doing. They were all doing it. Murphy was doing it. Fox was doing it. Fox was filling it up, man. Back then, he was before Carnegie Hall. It was the Hippodrome, and he filled it up, man. He could fill up the Hippodrome. An amazing feat at the time, and then Rockefeller and Carnegie and all these guys got it. They're there during this spiritual movement time that's moving across America that came in from Europe and Africa. It was really interesting to look at it. And I don't tend to like getting into details of individuals about it. I do like to see the individuals and step back and look at, how it happened. For example, during this time, Houdini loved his mother very much. He was the master of getting out of any kind of, trap. He could get out of it. And since he was the master of quote unquote that kind of magic. I mean, he set up the trap, he knew it all. Yeah, but he could do amazing things. He was double jointed. He could easily dislocate his shoulder and do other things and get out of these traps. The truth of the matter was he loved his mother very much, and his heart desire was to talk to her after she passed. And there were all these, spiritual teachers, and he discovered that one was lying to him, and it broke his heart because he thought he was talking to his mother, and he was determined he was going to get them all. He was going to get those scammers, but scammers come because there's two sides. There's got to be one side that's telling the truth about it, and there's got to be another side who's telling their truth about it. Well, I just want your money. Okay, I'll pretend that's what, if that's what you want to hear. I'll tell you what you want to hear, kind of thing. And Houdini was having none of it. I want the real deal. And of course he was only pulling those who weren't the real deal into his life because that was the state he was in. He thought they were all fakes, so he gets the fakes. See how this works? It's real. But you're not going to hear the real teachers or see the real teachers because the fakers came with them. Okay? This is just how it works. It's got to be there. It's got to balance. It has to balance. And you're the judge that's balancing, doing this balancing act between man and God. And the idea is to understand that God comes first. That's your I am, your heart, your soul, your being, the way you think, your point of view. That comes first. Okay? And the fact of the matter is, even though I got into this tit for tat and it was getting frustrating because, I'm saying, hang loose, don't judge. I just don't think, I have never read anything like that. This is what I know. If you can show me something otherwise, I would love to see it. And she kept coming at it like I had attacked her in some way and saying I'm judging her, and I'm going, no, okay, wait, no one's judging anybody, all right? What do you have? And then she presented it. It was wonderful. Oh, well, this is great. Thank you very much. Now I get it. Blessings to you. But I mean, that's all it took. But instead, there's this, man, that 20 replies back and forth about it. It's bullshit. And I did it. So it's not like I'm not at fault too, if you want to look at it that way, but we fell into it, even though in the middle of the exchange, I'm like, isn't it the teaching that matters and not these teachers, it doesn't matter who said it. I don't care who said it. I don't care where they learned it from. Okay. I know one thing that I am eternally grateful for, that they taught me how to read the Bible. Okay. That's where I get my information from. That's where I'm going. All right. And then I'm going to sit back and think about it. Now I'm going to God. He's in my heart. He's in my gut. Okay. And he's in my head. And I've been playing a role called Rita. I am one whole individual, complete thought or belief inside the mind of God. And God bless all the other ones. Okay. All of them. And the ones we all think are dead are going to rise up. The good ones. They're going to rise up and come home because we're all one. It's one. They started it and we built into this great big family, this great big rock, the one that Daniel prophesied as it's come down. We're all melting into a great big melting pot. It's really wonderful. It really is. America shows the world that. We can fight, we can push, but democracy lives on. The people keep it coming. It's not going to stop. We're the boss. We may have forgotten for a little bit. That's okay. We're still the boss. We're going to take it back. I don't care. This is how it is. It's just how it is. And it's been this way forever. I am. I am. I am. Okay. I am. That is whole and complete. Okay. Set that aside. I am. Then what? What are you adding to that? Okay. People get trapped. All things are possible to God. Yeah, they are. If you want to be with JoJo in a new reality and shift to this new reality, that's fine as long as you understand. You're still taking you with you. Okay? As long as you clean up your act and everything, it'll be fine. And this world's not important. Okay? You have to flip that thinking. You're what's important. It wants you. You don't want it. It wants you. You don't chase it. It chases you. Money desires me. I could give a shit. It's a piece of paper. Food. Great food. Great restaurants. I could give a shit. I can eat anything, anytime, anywhere, anyone I want. You're nothing until I put you to work. Money is nothing until you put it to work. Put it to work. It'll come back to you. Okay? Power. Power is nothing. It's nothing. Okay? No one has any power over anybody else unless they give it to you. It's nothing. Who gives a shit? I don't want your power over me. Power is nothing. Okay? You have no power over me. Got it? Good. It is like, just be yourself, but don't take it too far. Don't put a cage around your heart, and understand that, this is shown to us beautifully in the stories of Lucille Ball and Elizabeth Taylor. And for Lucille Ball, she'd had enough of Desi Arnaz. She couldn't do it. So they divorced and she married somebody else. And she stated later in life how, Desi was the young, passionate, and she missed that. But she just couldn't do that. And then Liz Taylor tells us later in life, her life, that she never gave up on love. She had it with Mike Todd. That kind of love's good. It's got to be out there, always, somewhere. And she went looking for it. She thought she found it in Richard Burton, but alcohol was killing them, so they had to get apart. They didn't know what was going on. They tried hard, they did. And she never gave up on that. She never did. So I hope this helps. I hope it helps everyone understand a little better that, we're all going to be man and God. It's just a mix. And it's a mix. It's supposed to be a mix. It's supposed to be where what you think inside is being perfectly reflected and shown to you on the outside. And you don't get upset with the outside, okay? And you tell the truth. But you don't have to tell every little detail. No, it got taken care of, Grandma. It's all good. But who took care of it? Well, I did. Don't you worry about it. Okay. It's all good. Hope this helps. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.